Okay, good morning folks. We're just going to do a quick, I'm going to show you how to check the oil and water in two contrasting vehicles. Is that what it means? Contrasting, or two different vehicles, totally different vehicles. This is a Fiat Ducato commercial van. Okay, that's my bonnet catch. Let's go around the front. And now to lift the bonnet, underneath here there should be a little lever. You're not going to see that, but I'll show you afterwards. And when you lift it up, okay, there's my lever. Okay, to hold the bonnet up, bear with me. Up we go. I couldn't show that because I'm holding it. Right, to hold my bonnet up, I have a bonnet stay. This is called a bonnet stay or whatever. And it's linked and it fits there. Right, now I'm going to show you another totally different vehicle. So I'm just going to try and prove a point that they're very similar, no matter how big the vehicle is. Don't let it spook you, all right? Now we're going to go to a Mini. I'm going to open the door. Now in here, we've got to find the door catch. It could be this side. It could be underneath your steering column. It could be here. For on Minis, it's over here. There, passenger door, there we go. Lean over and pull the bonnet. Now, this is a different bonnet. Let me show you this. There we go. Now here, 3/4 away along the bonnet here, if you lift it up a little bit, you should find a lever. There it is. It's just there, 3/4 away. So we're going to lift that, and this bonnet now, it's hydraulic. And there we go. Right, next thing we're going to check is oil, water and window washers. I would say two major essential ones, and one pretty major because you need the window washers to keep your windscreen clean. So let's go back to the Fiat Ducato. I'm trying to prove a point here that don't get scared. Fiat Ducato, big van. Right, so to put oil in your engine, this is where it goes, in the top of the engine. Okay, it goes here. You can see this is an oil can symbol. It looks like an oil can. There you go. And on mine, the dipstick is marked with just a red dipstick. Now I'm going to dip my oil. I'm just going to put you on tripod. Hold on. Okay, so this is my dipstick here. It's in the front of the engine. I'll show you on the Mini. You pull it out, and this is why I've got this piece of tissue for. Okay, so there we go. On mine, if you can see that, there's a slight variation on the shaft here. It goes a bit thinner, and that's telling me where my oil should come to. Okay, let me just clean that. Okay, so my oil, should come roughly here. Okay, so let me re-dip it. Alright, and back out again. And if you look, pretty well spot on. We've just done the oil change, and so that's working. If I needed to put any oil in, what I would do, now the idea of this, why I'm bringing this up, is because my daughter got stuck the other day with an oil light come on, and she was panicking because she just had a turbo change, and the lady said, yeah, what you need to do, you need this oil, which was brilliant. The garage was lovely. I'm not faulting them for anything, but they also said what you need to do is put the oil in the dipstick hole. No, absolutely not. It doesn't go in the dipstick hole. The dipstick is for checking your oil. It goes in here, the oil symbol on top of your engine. Let me show you the Mini, so totally different vehicle. So on the Mini, they've got a dipstick as well. It's a similar sort of position, you know, it could be at the front, could be at the side, it just depends. Now on the Mini one, it has a symbol of an oil can. This is your dipstick. And on the Mini, on the top of the engine, it has a symbol of an oil can. This is where the oil goes into the engine, the top of the engine. This is for beginners. This is not a lecture on anybody else, and I'm probably going to get criticism. I don't really care. This is for total beginners, all right? Men and women. Right, let me just show you this dipstick, all right? Okay, so I'm pulling the dipstick out of the Mini, and then we're going to wipe it. Just want to prove a point, because I know the Mini is a little bit low. All right, so there we go. I can't get that in focus. I need to get this in focus so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, well, so I'm going to re-dip it now. Back in. Come back out. I'm hopefully going to get it. I can't guarantee the focus, but look at the change in the colour. Look at the colour. Can you see that? So the oil's coming to here. So we're a little bit low. Not a great, but enough to maybe, you know, it'll take half a pint or half a litre. Okay, you don't put any more in, you just put it in, and then what you do after you've put this, so this is your oil cap, take him off, put your oil in here, about half a litre. Okay, you don't have to put it all in, you can do a little bit at a time, and you can keep rechecking, and you can check this as many times as you want. It doesn't matter until you get it somewhere near. Okay, so you go back in again, you put your oil in, you bring it back out, and you check again. See where we are there. We haven't put any in, which is fine. We haven't got any at the moment. But that's how you check your oil in your vehicle. And all vehicles are pretty well much the same, to be honest with you. So put that back in. And when you put the cap back on, make sure it goes in tight and locks. Otherwise you're going to lose your cap and you're going to get oil spillage everywhere. So that's the main essential thing for that. And same with the Fiat. So I'm trying to give you two alternatives on vehicles. Next, coolant. This is your coolant, okay, on a Mini. Now other vehicles might have a different symbol, but it's pretty well the same. Let me just show you on the Fiat. Okay, so on my Fiat, it is, you know, it's like a temperature gauge or similar to that, and this is my coolant. Slightly different position. I mean, the Mini's is over here and mine's over here, but this is what you look for. Okay, mine's a different color. I think it's the same actually, I don't know. So my coolant level is it's on this line here. Mine's maximum up there, but it's always like this. It never drops, so I just leave it. I mean, you know, as long as you've got enough and you can see it, it's fine. So that's perfectly okay. Now let's go look at the Mini. So this is the Mini coolant. Like I said, this is a temperature gauge on the top, and that's what we're looking for. And then down here, you've got a minimum. Can you see that? Here, that line, and then the maximum up here. And you're not going to see that, but as long as that's somewhere near, just around about here, that's fine. Word of warning now, never, if your water light comes on and you stop and the engine's hot, do not, absolutely do not undo this cap until your engine has cooled down. I'm serious, because you can get scolded. My lad did it once in the garage. He wasn't very good afterwards. Now people say, like, you know, they start panicking and say, oh, it's antifreeze and all this. Yes, you do need antifreeze, especially in the winter. But if it's an emergency, you can just put ordinary tap water in just to get you home. Okay, and then if you want to go to your local garage, they'll show you. You can even buy once you've found out what the problem is, if there is a problem, you can sort that out, and then you can buy your own antifreeze and you mix it and you can put it straight in. Some antifreeze now you don't even have to mix, you can put it straight in to your reservoir. Okay, now number 3, window wash. Now let me show you the symbol for the window wash. Now the window wash looks like a windscreen, look. Okay, looks like a windscreen. And then you've got 2 little sprays coming up like a fountain. That's window wash. Okay, now you can put in here tap water. It's fine, nothing problem, no wrong with that whatsoever. It probably needs a little bit as well. Now it doesn't tell you how much is in there. You can probably usually see sometimes, but anyway, it's usually hidden. But what you could do is just top that up, make sure that's topped up, make sure your wipers are in good nick, especially in winter. And you definitely need it topping up for MOT. It'll fail MOT if you haven't got water in your window washers. Let me show you the van one. Right, now my van one is tucked away right here. Now if I can put the light on. See the symbol? Hold on. There you go, look. Simple, windscreen, 2 squirty fountains. That's how I'm going to put it. Mine is slightly different. I can open the cap up, and then I've got an extended part on mine because it's quite deep into the van that it comes out, and then I can put, it's got a filter in there as well. It needs a bit of a clean. Anyway, but I always keep mine topped up, and I've just replaced my blades. That goes back in, and put the cap back on. Okay, so that's your 3, I would say 2 major and 1 essential that needs checking. Okay, the next one is you go to your local garage and you get them to check everything and the service and all that sort of stuff for your brake fluid and anything else that's required. But really, that's about it. That's your major thing you need to look for. In your car, I would always guarantee to take at least a litre of fuel with you, a litre of oil. Okay, that's essential. Take a litre of oil, take a litre of water with you. All right, put it in the boot, doesn't really matter. And also maybe a little bit of a care package, like a first aid kit, a torch, some sticky tape, maybe a lighter, anything like that, just in case of an emergency. Next thing, let's quickly have a look at before we finish is the types of fuel. Now mine is a diesel. Okay, it's a diesel van, that is a petrol Mini. Let me just show you the difference. Okay, so on the Mini, it's petrol, unleaded. Okay, so you have to have the key out of the ignition, bring it with you, and then you can just flip it, open it, and if you look inside there, you'll see the hole is quite smallish. What's inch diameter? And normally a diesel hose wouldn't fit in here. Okay, so you need to doubly check and make sure. Now most diesel vehicles will say diesel on it. Okay, so this is petrol unleaded, and you just clips in and close it. Remember, this is for beginners, so no criticism please. Okay, so on my van, diesel, and it says on it, look, diesel. Now they don't always say it, but normally you'd have a little symbol here on the top that says diesel or somewhere. And on mine, I need the key for mine, different one. And if you look down there, that hole's a lot bigger. Okay, so I don't know if that's going to make a big difference. There's a little bit on my diesel van down below here, little, you think it's, that actually doesn't do anything. On some of the newer vehicles, you have something called AdBlue. So you'd have your diesel above and you add blue down below, and it will state that. Okay, that's the difference. So the petrol one is a smaller diameter, and the diesel usually has diesel on it and it's a bigger diameter. Next, let's close the bonnets and I'll show you how we do that. Please remember, this is just for beginners. All right, so with mine, I've got a catch up there, so I have to lift the bonnet slightly. All right, take the catch out, drop it down. Let me just hold it with my shoulder, clip it into place where it came from. Make sure it's clipped in because it'll bounce around. Okay, then with the bonnet, hold it about 8 inches, 6 inches above, let it go. It should lock, and then double check. All right, make sure it's closed. Let's go and do the Mini. So with the Mini, pretty straightforward actually. Bring the bonnet down, and then round about 8 inches, 6 inches, 8 inches, let it go, and it should lock. Always double check that it locks, because that secondary thing, when you pull that lever on the inside of your vehicle, that undoes the latch which holds the bonnet, and then there's a secondary emergency one. As you're going along, if you didn't close it properly, it should stop the bonnet from flying up by pushing that lever which was underneath there. Okay, and there we go, that's it really. I'm doing a little bit of a care package for my daughter. The reason why I'm doing the video is because she didn't break down, but she had a new turbo fitted, and the oil warning light come on, whether I mentioned that or not. So she got a bit panicky. So I'm doing a bit of a care package for her because she needed a torch. It was late at night. So dads, if you're listening, whether it's your sons or your daughters, I'm doing a bit of a care package for her, which is a torch, some sticky tape, a lighter, an emergency blanket, maybe a first aid kit, stuff like that, just to help them out. All right. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and a like. That would be great. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing. If you don't, that's fine by me. I've turned my thing off. And that's it. Take care, and we'll definitely catch you in the next one.